Hola, beloved. I'm Mac. I'm back. I buy old records. Yes, I do. Also sell them. I sold a beautiful, rare Sun record from Memphis, Tennessee. It's one by Howard Surratt. It's called Troublesome Waters. A beautiful solo voice accompanied just by guitar and his own harmonica. And it's a rarity. But I just got a much rarer 45 RPM version of it. So I can let this one go. I've had it for years in my collection, and I hate to say goodbye to it, but I gotta finance my collecting as well. The Sun records that I'm needing aren't easy to find, and they're not cheap. That point has long passed, unless I look upon one in a garage sale. Howard Surratt was born, I think, about 1923, I believe, in Manila, Arkansas. Suffered polio as a child, so he was on crutches, loved swimming, and he was really a muscled up dude in his upper body. He married, had some kids, later in life became a jeweler, lived out in Hemet, California. Maybe that's Hemet, but I think it's Hemet, California. And my dad and my brother, back in 1981, maybe, I think it was, visited him while they were heading out west for fun. So I had them go over there and see him. He was nice enough to give some autographed pictures of himself for me, a cassette of some music he had recorded, just some really nice things. He was a great guy. So I contacted his sister in later years. He only made a few records is all, and they're all real hard to find. Well, his sister gave me some photographs of him from '54, about the time he cut this, for Sam Phillips and Sun Records. Oh, they're great pictures. Marvelous. One day I'll put them out there, but I've got to get this thing packed so it'll withstand the rigors of being sent through the U.S. mail overseas to England. A lot of dealers, if you check eBay, will sell 78s and don't know the first thing about packing them properly. Everybody's got their own way. Here's mine. The first thing I do, I get me 4 sheets of cardboard, corrugated. I will lay the record in thus so. Make a little Howard Surratt sandwich, as it were. Don't skimp on the tape either. I'm sure my brother producer is going to cut out the more boring bits of this. You know, watching paint dry and watching Mac tape up the 78 package is probably not the most exciting thing on your list today. But if you're ever going to send a 78 record or any record, you got to pack it right. And it's amazing how many dealers just don't do it, whether it's ignorance, laziness, apathy, or they're trying to be cheap when it comes to the paying the postage. It costs minimum to send a 78 proper across the waters $24 right now at USPS rates. Get over a couple of pounds, that jumps up to $35. If this package jumps up to $35, so be it. I won't send it at all if it's not going to be sent properly. That's the first little bit. You got your nice little old Sun record sandwich going. Bubble wrap. Ah, yeah, the good stuff. The lonely man's dream. So let's put some bubble wrap first around it, thus so. Secure it with some tape. You'll go through a lot of tape, bubble wrap, and cardboard doing this. I like to tape over the edges as well. Gives a little measure extra of security in case it gets a side impact. These are essentially airbags for records. And wrap this one going the opposite direction of the first one. Then wrap that up thusly. I like that word. Somebody told me the other day at the show, you like words. Yeah, I like words. I used to live next door to a college. It was cool. It was just a barber college in Fairfield, Texas, but, you know, we all do what we got to do to get by in life. So I'm going to take a smaller box. This is an old 78 box from, man, forever back. Never use a pizza box. Nothing screams cheapness, and I don't care, like a dang pizza box. Worst thing in the world. I got a 78 one time that was in a pizza box. Had cheese on the inside of the box. It really did. That's awful. You don't do that. That's just uncalled for. People do it. And sometimes they'll put them in a pizza box, maybe a little bit of cardboard or a little tissue paper and nothing else. Well, guess how the record shows up? Shows up in a bunch of pieces. Sometimes, though, with the, best of intentions or the best packing job you can do, I sent my old buddy, Mark Lee Allen, a really rare 78. I bought it for, 10 euros when I was overseas playing in France last time. Well, that's $75 for that thing, so I thought, well, okay, that's good. Mark's happy with what he paid. I'm happy with what I paid. Bought 2 copies of it, in fact. Well, I sent one to him, and I packed it according to how I pack it. When it arrived, the 6-inch box that was 6 inch tall, it was about 2 inches tall. Something, probably an anvil like the Wile E. Coyote used, was dropped on it at some point. Flattened it out. I've never seen such. That's the only 78 I've ever sent, literally in thousands that I've sent, that has shown up dead on arrival. One time I had one that I packed real well. Jimmy Johnson. The song was called, I think, Eternity or something. It was a really great rocking gospel record. Man, that thing was cool. I sent that to old Barney out in England. It didn't arrive. 3 months later, after I'd already refunded him, it shows up, and the box looked like somebody had, kicked it around in the not the World Series, that other game that my son likes so well. Yeah, the World Cup. Oh, it looked bad, but the record survived. That's what good packing does. Now, I'm going to go right now and grab something I forgot. The packing material that goes in this box, around this box, in which there's a Howard Surratt sandwich. All right, so I've poured a bed of packing peanuts, thick enough for the record to set on comfortably, maybe a little bit more. Get on Craigslist, look under free stuff. Type in packing peanuts, bubble wrap. You'll find it there sometimes. You can get a whole van full for little or nothing, sometimes for nothing. One time, a neighbor down the road put out a huge, unused, it was 4 foot across roll of bubble wrap. Oh, that lasted me a long time. Cheap? Yeah, man. That's me. And I say that with pride. And I did another thing at the customer's behest, request, words. He wanted me to write a note to put in there for customs. Oftentimes, custom agents will open up a package just to see what's in it. Yeah, they do that, and that's cool. The sad thing is they can undo your packing job and in just a few seconds literally destroy what was otherwise a very beautiful record and a very good day. So, I'm going to take this inside right on top of that inner box, and I'm going to hope the record gods are favorable to me again. I seem to be their golden child. That's okay, I can accept that. Well, got to get the scissors out for this stuff. I'm feeling weak today. That was a fun show at Austin, but man, that'll take it out of you, especially if you're, above 40 years old, let's just say. We're going to pour that stuff in. Reminds me of a joke that I can't repeat here on air. Just out of respect for all my YouTube friends. If I ever do a comedy channel, I'll tell that joke. Okay, I poured a little too much in, so we will put some of it back. The trick is to get it where the record's not going to shift around, but not so tight with it that if something's set on top, it's going to put undue stress and strain. Records they're sensitive, fickle creatures. I've said that you can break a record, a 78 record, into direct proportion to how expensive and desirable it is. Drove all the way to Tennessee one time to see another Sun Record artist. He was Raymond Kirby, who played guitar for the Ripley Cotton Choppers. That's an insanely rare Sun Record. Only came out on a 78. And there was no 45 release. They only made maybe 300. I've heard 200 even thrown around. Most of them were sold around Memphis and their hometown. Not many of them really were sold, though. I think there was a lot of old stock that was returned to Sam Phillips at Sun. And they didn't get another chance to be on wax. So, you know, you don't sell no matter how much Phillips liked you. If you didn't sell well, you didn't get another chance. Okay, that's in there. Then you take this bad boy on, and you tape it tight and secure. Leave yourself enough room that you can properly address it. Ran out of tape there. There we go. Always keep extra tape. I always do. Until I don't. Then it's off to Walmart. I'm going to run it. Now that I've got the top down, I'm going to go all the way around it completely. That way, if some of the other tape loses its sticky for some reason, maybe its quality control wasn't right, then that one big piece could save the day. Don't skimp on the tape, please. Don't skimp and use pizza boxes, please. Don't do that. I will visit you unhappily if you send me a 78. Just unhappy. I didn't say anything about being bad. No, I'll talk about you though. I have records sent to me often. It's astonishing how badly packed they can be. And sometimes they'll still survive. I've had them not survive. This, my loves, is a properly sandwiched and boxed and double boxed and just beautiful Howard Surratt Sun 198 of Troublesome Waters Are Blacker Than Night. It's a beautiful record. This should get to England in one piece. If it does not, I will be wrought with the record gods and probably have to make another one of those sacrifices because obviously I've done something that's really peed 'em off. Peed 'em off. Wow, this cold's getting to me. Anyway, next time I'm just going to fill out the forms, write his address down, all that stuff. And this is weird. I told you I got a 45 RPM. When, you know, if they made 500 copies of this record on 78, normally they might press 50 to 100 copies of the 45. Sometimes not even that. This was 1954. Sam Phillips was a bit behind the times at issuing 45s, and he did them sometimes at 5 to 10% or 20% of the ratio that he did the 78 RPM releases. I'm sending this record to the guy who sold me my 45 of Howard Surratt. Oh, I get it and I love it. A month or two goes by. I finally dig Howard from his hiding place in the vault. I put it up for sale, and who buys it? He knew I wanted that 45, and he was nice enough to sell it to me. And then he bought a better fidelity, because 78s do sound better, of the same record. It's just a marvelous thing, ain't it? Love you lots. Like and share and subscribe and